Welcome back to Hasbro's Hide. Going to have a bit more fun today with our Ruger Green Mountain 24-inch barrel custom rifle. And this time we're going to shoot 4 different ammunitions, and we're going to do it a little different than we did the first ammunition test video. And so this one we're going to shoot CCI standard velocity. That's just sort of a baseline to see how it does in this gun. But then we're going to shoot 3 different higher velocity rounds. And the reason I want to shoot these is because the 24-inch Green Mountain barrel, I have noticed it losing a little bit of velocity to the length versus my 16-inch CZ457 barrel. And what's a lot? Anywhere from 10 to 20 feet per second, it's slowing down, which you think, oh, that's bad. Well, not necessarily, because what it seems to be, and I want to prove this with more data over time, but it seems to be the standard deviations and extreme speds are getting smaller. So it's helping to stabilize the powder burn, maybe the obturation or the swelling of the bullet to the bore and engaging the rifling, etc., as it goes down that barrel. So we'll see. We'll check that with time, but I believe that's what's going on. But the reason I want to shoot the higher velocity ones is that'll bump it back up to roughly the same range as this comes out, the 16-inch barrel. And so we'll see and see how well it does. See if the higher velocity does well, or in some cases, like in the smaller barrels, it can make it worse because you're going from a supersonic condition to a transonic condition. But I don't believe we'll be supersonic coming out of the 24-inch barrel. But we'll kind of listen for that and see. But anyway, I think this will be a lot of fun. What we're going to do to give you an idea is you won't see the fouling rounds. I'm going to shoot those at an upper target, and then we'll cut that out. But I'm going to shoot 10 rounds, fouling rounds in it. Then we're going to shoot 2 5-round groups. And then over here, we're going to shoot a KYL target from Shooting Target 7. Now, that's a vet-owned company, and my first dealings with them was awesome. They have a great sale going on this KYL rimfire target that I bought. It's built for anything, including Magnum rimfires. And it's just an excellent deal for the money with shipping right now. So check them out, shootingtarget7.com, and you might find something there that you really like. I think it's just excellent quality and excellent dealing, and I like the idea of sending money to vets before anybody else. So anyway, check them out. Well, we'll shoot that KYL target after shooting 2 5-round groups and see how we do. The goal of the KYL is to clear it with, it's got 8 different hangers there, right? And so you want to clear it with all 8 shots. And then if you have extras, they're 10-round magazines, right, in a standard Ruger, then you want to shoot the last 2 rounds at that 1/4 inch, a really tiny target. And that's sort of the highest level, I think, at 50 yards as far as performance and measurement that you get. We'll do some things later on. We take that KY out to 100 yards, which means it's really tiny. But even at 50 yards, that 1/4 inch is really, really tiny. So it's a fun target to shoot. And so we'll do that. So let's go hit the range and see how we do. Well, it didn't look too bad. Oh, I nicked it. Let's try it again here. I think I nicked it. Nope. There we go. Not so bad. Well, that's the first flyer out of force. I nicked it, but not by much. Uh-oh. Nicked it. Yeah, that's a little better. Just yeah. All right, let's get long range over targets. See how we do. Let's stay longer. I'm really shaking on this. All 10 rounds. How about that? Alright, it's got 2 different groups on that one. Fire. And another fire right there at the end. Maybe let's end up putting 10 in here. We'll see how it does. Well, for $5 a box, that's not too bad. We'll try a KYL now. CCI clears the KYL. Let's see if we can get through all 10 here. Last 2 on the quarter. Welcome back into the range. Some very fun and interesting results here today. Shooting, I didn't bring my CCI standard velocity box up here, but shooting all these different ammos had a lot of fun. So what we were doing, right, you saw it on the video, is you shoot, you didn't see the fallow rounds. I shoot 10 fallow rounds on an upper target, and I come back and shoot 2 5-round groups. Now, as you saw, maybe if you've seen the previous video of this gun, it takes a while to season it, but these were pretty good. In just 10 rounds of fouling, I think they did pretty well, especially with my kind of rickety setup. I didn't have my normal rest and bags with me, so I had a tall bipod on it, which is taller than I normally use, except when I shoot prone at the club where I do, because it's a downhill slope and I need a little more height. But that caused me to use a bag in an awkward position and kind of pinch it and hold it, and probably wasn't the best hold. But still, even with that, there's some really great results up here considering that was going on. And so let's talk about what we did. So Eley high velocity. I think this longer barrel really likes these higher velocities. And maybe it's because, like I say, we're losing that 20, 30 feet per second or so with that longer barrel, and it's stabilizing in a good optimal speed range or velocity range. It's certainly stabilizing the rounds. That's the going theory with a lot of people with the longer barrels. Not just, they put them on there to help balance it for NRL and PRS shooting, but it also is seeming to stabilize the variation in the rounds. And I think I'm seeing that, but again, I'm not going to declare that's the case because I got a lot more testing to do with this gun. I'm early on into shooting this long-barreled 22. But nonetheless, if you look here, this is a really good group. It's .353, and this one right there is just the only one out of that group. And I am pretty confident, you know, my setup was not so solid. I'm pretty sure I did that because that's pulling to the left. And when it's me, usually, you're going to see them to the left. And so you see this here, this group was falling in here, but really I had one up and to the right. So maybe it's the setup, I don't know on that one. But that group is .524, so not so bad. But you take that one out, it's sub .4. And so, you know, pretty good showing at an Eley high velocity. We're going to test that some more with a proper setup and see what we can really wring out of that in a little bit longer, more detailed test like we did in the previous video. Well, then I shot Eley Force. And Eley Force was just, it was doing pretty good. I mean, that's not a bad group there. It's not as tight as some here, but it's a .418. Can't complain about that out of a Ruger 1022. The gun will do better, but that's a really pretty good group. But when I say the gun will do better, look down here. There's 4 bullets right there. That is definitely below .3. Now, I didn't measure it that way. I measured the whole group, and that whole group is a .659, but we had this one take off up and to the left. That one to the left maybe was me, but it had a different velocity. It was higher velocity, and so, you know, it's what you get. You're shooting ammo that's $6, $7 a box here. You're going to get some variation in that ammo. But that heavier bullet and a little faster with the Eley Force ammo, pretty cool. Pretty good result so far. Now, the one thing I am a little bit cautious on in this ammo is it has a black case. And that black case doesn't have the wax, everything else. I don't know if it's a polymer paint type coating or something they put on there, but it doesn't have the normal Eley wax and things in it. So I did have initially a couple stick. It didn't fail you to extract, basically. And but then after I shot a few of them, it was fine. And so I don't know what to think about there. We'll continue to test that and see. Others have had some issues with that case, that new case approach that they did in that one. So then look at SK Long Range, and SK Long Range is good in a lot of guns. It's a very popular ammo right now. And in my CZ457, it just shoots really well. But here, it's shooting incredibly well. You have 4 in a really nice, tight little group, and one that came up. And that one's velocity was a little bit higher. But still, I mean, it's not a bad group. It's a .500. It's exactly half an inch group here. But without that, that's .3 or below. So it's not bad at all. You see the same trend though here. Now this one I'm pretty sure is my rickety setup because it's the same velocity and it's falling into this same line. And so again, that high bipod, etc. I hate to make a lot of excuses, but it's real in this case. I just didn't want to have to drive 20 minutes back home, reset up everything and do it again. So I made do with what I had. But there's 4 right there. So that's an excellent group and showing by SK Long Range. Now remember, you can go back and look at each one of these. You shoot the KYLs as well, and these things cleared in general the KYL. I did it once with the CCI standard velocity, and the second time I went through them and I missed. I think I shot 7 in a row, missed 8, missed 9, hit it with 10. So I mean, not bad. It's pretty good. But anyway, SK Long Range is just a really great ammo. I know it's a little more expensive. I believe this is around $12 a box that I got that for. So a little more expensive, but it's pretty cool. It's not as bad as a lot of the match ammos, but it's cheap enough that you could practice a little bit and still shoot your matches and not break the bank. Now the other one, the last one I did was CCI standard velocity, and that's common, right? I mean, it's a known good ammo, but good is relative, right? So if you look here, that group is really, you know, I mean, I guess it's okay. It's .535. You go over here a little bit more, and this is .525, and this is all velocity changes in it. This one is a lot of velocity changes. You can see the spread vertically is about the same, but maybe a little horizontal. This direction would have been the wind, and so some of that was there, but that direction is probably me on that rickety setup. But then this one was pretty good as well. Now, I mismeasured this one, and I had to go back and measure it again. I counted that one. That's a tear in the paper, so that's my mistake. That was lead splatter coming from the KYL target when it hit. Some come up here, and I got a few little pepper holes in here, and that's what it was. They're diagonally cut, and pieces of lead flying off that KYL. because they were sitting side by side. But anyway, this spread is 790 because this one came way off of there to the right. And it was quite windy here at this point, and so maybe some of that there, some of it's my setup, but definitely this direction, I believe, is the wind. But not bad. I mean, CCI standard velocity at times was just putting them right through the same hole, and then I had one go a little bit low. But if that one that wasn't low drops in there, that's a really nice group as well. And so not too bad. So pretty good showing. This gun is proving it can shoot about anything pretty well, and some things really well. And so that's good because it's maybe a little more forgiving to variation in ammunition than some of my other semi-auto 22s have been. So I thought you'd like to see this. It's been a lot of fun. I absolutely love that KYL target. It's a blast, and I'm loving this gun. And for you guys that haven't seen it, go back and look at the first video in this gun, and first couple of videos in this gun, and it'll explain what the gun is. And there's no reason that anybody out there can't build this gun. It's really not that hard to put together a 1022. And if you get the right components, whether it's a Green Mountain barrel, which I'm really liking, or if you want to spend the money and get a Kid barrel, or whatever the case may be, there's Feddersen barrels. Or the Feddersen barrel I just released a short video on was really good as well. There are a lot of good aftermarket barrels out there that far outshoot the factory barrels and turn your rifle into something that's just a lot of fun. So anyway, I hope you like this. If you do, give me a like and subscribe, and we'll be hitting this gun again at the range, or we're taking this gun again to the range not too long from now. But the weather has just kind of turned a little bit, so maybe a few days yet. And we're going to take this one out. We're going to get our 300 hammer out. We're going to do some other rifle shitting, maybe get back on our 6.5 Creedmoor custom rifle as well. But I hope you like it, and we'll see you later.